TEKS 5B, Linear Inequality Notes. So let's first look at some vocabulary. So I put all the symbols that we may be using and we're just going to name them. So this first symbol here is the less than symbol. The symbol next to it is the greater than symbol. These are parentheses. We use the parentheses when we are using either the less than or greater than symbol. And then lastly, this is an open dot. And again, we use it when we are talking about less than or greater than. So all of these symbols mean that we do not include the number since there is not an equal sign. Okay. The next symbol is less than and equal to. Then we have greater than and equal to. And then the symbol next to it are called brackets. And then we have a closed dot. So everything that I wrote in purple, we use only with less than or greater than symbols. Everything that I wrote in this pinkish color is used when we have the equal sign. So that means the brackets include the number and the closed dot include the number. Okay. So important. When we are dealing with inequalities, we have a special rule. So when we divide or multiply by a negative number, the sign flips. So when we multiply or divide by a negative number, the sign flips. So let's look at some examples. Okay, so example number 1, we are going to solve this exactly like we were solving multi-step equations. So let me pick my color. Okay, so I have negative 2x plus 5 is greater than 11. So I'm going to just treat this like this is an equal sign, draw my line through it. I'm going to subtract 5. So I'm left with negative 2x on this side, and 11 minus 5 is 6. And then I'm going to divide by a negative 2. So since I am dividing by a negative 2, my sign is going to flip. So I have x is less than negative 3. Notice that my sign here flipped. It will let me highlight. Okay, my sign flipped. Okay, so my answer is x is less than negative 3. And to graph this on the number line, I'm going to put negative 3 in the middle. And I am going to write all the numbers, that's what x stands for, that are less than negative 3. So all the numbers less than negative 3 would be this way. Because this is negative 4, and this way would be negative 2. These are less than. Okay, and since we do not have an equal sign, this is going to be an open dot. Okay. Let's look at example 2. Same thing. You're going to add 10 to both sides. And we get 1/3 x, and then we have 12. Okay. To get rid of that 1/3, we're going to divide by 1/3. Since we're dividing by a positive number, our symbol does not change. So we're left with x is less than 12 divided by 1/3, which is 36. Okay. Notice my sign did not change. Okay, so if I was to graph this, I have 36. Let's do a number smaller and a number bigger. This says x is less than 36. We need all the numbers that are less than 36, so this way. Notice I wrote the numbers on the number line. That kind of determines what direction I'm going. And then since this is a less than symbol, it's going to be an open dot. Okay. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, so my first step here, since I have parentheses, is to distribute. You guys should all be very good at distributing by now. So -2 times x is -2x. -2 times 5 is -10. I bring down the -3, bring down the 17. So now I need to combine like terms. -10 and -3 is -13. So I have -2x minus 13, and then I bring down my 17. Then I need to add 13 to both sides. When I add 13 to the other side, I get 30. So now I'm left with, I'm just going to write it over in this box, -2x, and then on this side I have 30. I'm going to divide by -2. Notice I am dividing by a negative number, so that means my sign will flip. So I'm left with x is less than or equal to -15. So right here, notice that my sign flipped since I divided by a negative number. So if I was to graph this, I have -15, -14, -16. This is all the numbers less than -15, less than or equal to -15. So it's going to be a closed dot. All the numbers less than -15 is in this direction. Okay. Last one. Remember, when I see parentheses, I distribute. I have 2 times x, which is 2x. 2 times 5, which is 10. Bring down the -3. Bring down the x plus 4. Okay, I'm going to combine like terms. 10 minus 3 is 7. So I have 2x plus 7. And then bring down the x plus 4. Okay. I am going to move my x's to the other side. So I'm going to minus x. These cancel. Minus x. 2x minus 1x is x. Then I bring down my plus 7. Then I'm left with 4 on the other side. Then my very last step is to subtract 7. Notice I'm just subtracting a number. I'm not dividing by anything. I'm not multiplying by anything. That means my sign is going to stay the same. So 4 minus 7 is -3. So x is less than or equal to -3. So my symbol, if you notice, did not change because I never divided by a negative and I never multiplied by a negative. So if I was to graph this, I have -3, -4, -2. This is all the numbers less than or equal to -3, so that's the closed dot, less than. Just remember, when we're dealing with negatives, it may look like this is the bigger number, that -4 right here, but -4 is less than -3. Just want to make that clear. When we were dealing with the positive numbers, obviously 35 is less than 36. Just keep in mind that negatives are opposite.